It is officially Monday. I'll still count it as Sunday. 12:09 a.m. Wrapped up the strategy doc. We're on the road to 8 figures, 3-year plan, and kind of like just put the pieces together, but also heavily emphasized just the focus of the next 3 months. So that's, the main thing. And then what really happens for the next 3 years, of course, you can't fully predict, but this is kind of like the compass as it stands. And the most important thing is that this is also the compass of the team, and that I will share this with the team and get everyone aligned. And just as, the CEO and founder here, my job also is to just, from being focused and clear myself, to then instill that inside of my team members and to remind them frequently, to support them frequently, to hold them accountable frequently. And then letting them thrive. And we're going to thrive together. Road to 8 figures, damn, captured it. You heard it here first. And now I'm going to hit the sack. Good night. Happy Monday, my friends. Started the day off with going straight to laptop, cleaning stuff up, then going for a walk, grabbing coffee, and then getting my first deep work blocker done, which was to finalize strategy doc for the leadership meeting, actually preparing the leadership meeting, filling up our scorecards, and just kind of like the weekly rhythm that I've established for myself. Then jumped into one-on-one with our CFO, so I had our finance check-in, now got a 30-minute break, and then the meetings continue with our head of HR first, then with the leadership team as a whole, then with the growth team, and that's it. In between, just small work stuff that piled up, and I feel very good about things. In the evening, I'm gonna get a workout in, and yeah, that's the Monday flow. Nothing fancy, nothing sexy, but major key to get as much sunlight and fresh air as possible, and to use breaks or calls that allow it for walks. So I will go for a walk now, grab some high protein light snack to break my fast. That's the beauty. This is what keeps me sane. This is what makes the home office my favorite setup at the moment, because I got my workstation, I'm locked in, but I also feel like I can just flow outside. I got lights and fresh air coming in. I can invite team members for co-working. So really, really enjoyed this rhythm. So long as I always make sure to also get some fresh air and get outside of the apartment and kind of reset in between. So got an epic week lined up here in Berlin. Visiting an absolute legend tomorrow at the W3 Hub. Can't wait to introduce her to y'all. Yeah, just tag along for a clean, productive, nice, content week in Berlin. Hi friends, first meal of the day. My go-to style / a variation of my go-to, which is just high protein, high vegetables, and some good fats. So what do we have here? Just some tofu and grilled vegetables I stirred up in the pan. Then we got 2 eggs, red pepper, some olives, 2 lentil waffles, and some hummus underneath. Don't know the exact macros, but I'd guesstimate around 650 calories, high protein. Keeps me full, keeps me fueled, but doesn't make me crash, and tastes nice. So only thing missing here really would be to add broccoli sprouts. That's kind of my go-to, but they ran out of it. So I should look into growing my own broccoli sprouts one day. But yeah, that's that. Gotta devour lunch, get into the next meeting, finish work, get ready for the gym later today. And then that's a strong ass start to the week. With love. Gym and sauna, check. Sun, check. Luca Wetzel.
Was good.
Check. Was good, G?
Having the best morning of my life. How are you?
Good. I had scheduled a gym and sauna sesh with Selim, and I completed the gym and sauna sesh alone.
Oh no.
But maybe we'll find out soon what happened.
Yeah, but at least you did it.
At least I did it. Yeah, that's what matters. 100%. Now we're gonna get coffee and hit to the W3 Hub.
All alone?
with Selim if he dares to show up. I'm filming him with 2 cameras now. Getting used to it now, huh? Cheers, G. Black filter, Bonanza. Nice, light, fruity acidity. I'll say it's like I need to actually learn how to taste coffee the same way you can learn how to taste wine. That way I don't just sound like an idiot when I give these reviews. Though I have to say this one, heat on point, it's smooth, no aftertaste, no unnecessary fermentedness or pretentious acidity, just smooth, good, 8.1, let's go. Hi friends, we're at Gleisdreieck in Kreuzberg.
Today's a good day. I'm actually really excited about my tasks. We're revamping our whole sales process and actually building one source of truth for all of it. The offers, our ICP, our pitch deck, all of the good stuff. So looks good. We already, I would say that's a draft. We drafted everything and now I'm just putting everything in place and making sure everything is clean and sexy and fun to work with. And also nice to engage with for our potential partnerships. Revamping also the term sales. We don't call it sales, we call it partnerships. So pretty much just making sure our partnership department is clean and sexy. That's my objective for today.
How many sales calls?
Only 2.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I have more sales calls than you today.
Really? How many do you have? 3?
I think I got 3 or 4. 3.
Okay.
Funny enough, we ran into one of the investors and co-founders of this place when we grabbed this coffee. But we're not meeting up with him, we're meeting up with Vicky, who's another co-founder of the W3 ecosystem, including this physical space called the W3 Hub. Hi. Oh.
Endlich im Video.
Endlich im Video. Was geht? Meeting-Marathon schon früh oder was?
Also nicht. Gar kein Meeting.
Okay. Okay, we're getting a tour from one of the co-founders himself, Bredi Abi. So this is a co-working space here. People can buy subscriptions, memberships.
Fix and flex desks.
3 floors. I never went up to the 3rd one. Cleaner corner. Clean. Krank.
And I'm really burning rubber, hard as can be. You been put me through a number.
Das ist also so ein Notausgang. Wir sind halt von da reingekommen. Ich habe rumgelaufen, hat nur die PS5 geklaut und sich wieder verbissen. Das ist ein Schaden von.
Das ist ein Inside-Job, sag ich euch. Okay, so that's the chill room. Now we're going to the B2B room. Aha.
Das ist noch fertig gebaut. Da ist die Offices dran. Wenn du rumgehst, hinten gibt es die Küche auch nicht mehr. Das ist jetzt auch ein Office, deswegen kommt hier eine neue rein. Alles noch. Hier ist noch viel Progress. Geht's auch noch, ja.
Haben sich hier eingenistet.
Da hinten ist jetzt Office. Da hinten ist jetzt Meeting Room geworden.
Schon noch crazy, wenn eigentlich genau die gleichen Etagen.
Ja, alle gleich.
Immer ein bisschen anderer Flavor.
Das ist jetzt quasi Office Space.
Ja, hier.
Premium Meeting Room mit Kitchen.
Das ist der 9-Figure Floor. Sick. Thanks for the tour, bro. Okay, friends, quick check-in. It is 11:30 a.m. and after sending out follow-up emails and updating some deals in our CRM, it is time to transition into reviewing this guy's sales calls. Selim is our head of partnerships. Today is my personal also sales and partnerships type of day, and as part of my management responsibilities, I realized that I need to take more time in actually giving feedback and teaching my team, especially my leadership team. And so I'm gonna spend the next hour going through sales call recordings from Selim and then just write down feedback and point out whatever needs to be pointed out. Plus we also last week, actually this Saturday, outlined a new sales call script and sequence. So from discovery call to follow-up call, how we structure these conversations, what the goal of these conversations really is, and what information we need from the potential customers. And also how do we ensure that everyone who goes through our sales process has a great experience and receives a ton of value no matter whether they're qualified or not. That's that. And then 3 sales calls lined up in the afternoon, plus 2 partnership calls. Should be good. Let's get to it.
I don't think I'm different now. Of course I didn't run away.
Alright, friends, just had a nice little sales feedback session, and I figured it might be valuable for you all to hear about some of the best practices that I follow and that have helped me to close, I don't know how many deals I've closed by now. 50, 60, 70? I don't know, but I have like on average 5 to 10 sales calls every week. But let's say over the last 3 years of running Notice, I've had about 10 sales calls per week on average. And so a lot of discussions, a lot of discovery calls, follow-up calls, closing calls. And I've always been quite intuitive with how I approach sales, but nevertheless, there is a structure and there are best practices that I follow to make sure they always go well, no matter whether or not it actually turns into an actual sale. And so the way I structure my sales calls is by starting with small talk, right? You just like, yo, where you at? It's the easiest one, just like location. Then if home office versus normal office, those are some easy ways to just get some rapport going immediately. And then you set the agenda. So I set the agenda and I say, yo, the goal of this call is to get to know you as a person, get to know something, about the person aside from just the LinkedIn profile or the website. I'll also, of course, happily introduce myself and give more context about what we do and how we can help you. And then at the end of the call, we'll figure out whether or not it makes sense to, have a follow-up call to dive deeper into the process and potential collaboration. But at the very least, I hope you get also a lot of value and that I can provide feedback and get to know you. So if that sounds cool with you, I'd love for you to just introduce yourself. How did you get to where you are today? And then they kind of just start talking, and from there it's kind of like an interview, and I just, as I go through this interview and I let the person talk as much as possible, just try to get all the necessary information I need to qualify and also prepare properly for the follow-up call. And so some of these questions are, of course, their background and the jobs they worked on, but then the current business model and company they're working on, their ideal customer profile, their goals, the problems that they have right now, the desired outcomes they're looking to achieve, their marketing status quo. So do they have marketing team members, freelancers, agencies they work with or worked with in the past? And, just getting all of those info pieces. And then I tell my story. Oftentimes they've come through content inbound, so I keep my story super short, and I even make the joke of, you've probably seen some of my LinkedIn posts, so I'll keep it brief. And then I just give, highlights of my journey until the place where I'm at now with the company. And then I give a super short, high-level introduction about the company. So, what's our mission? What is our core process that we, instill or implement? And then kind of leaving room for more questions and feedback before then scheduling the follow-up call at the end, if it makes sense. I do that. I finish the call also by teasing the budget range, just to qualify a little bit and not have someone who thinks that they can hire our content service for $500, $1,000 per month, but rather actually, make sure that we anchor in a range that actually is worthwhile discussing further. And best practices aside from that I always stick to is let the person talk as much as possible. I like to recap what the person told me. So after they talk for 2 to 5 to 10 minutes, I kind of recap the highlights, which gives them the opportunity to share more information, or it gives me the opportunity to process and come up with follow-up questions if I have any. And so it's like a nice way to give yourself more time, but also give the other person the confidence that you actually listened to what they said and that you understand them. So that's another best practice. Another one is to always just give them room by saying, do you have any other thing you want to add? Anything we didn't discuss? Anything we didn't touch on yet? Any questions or feedback from me? And yeah, that's pretty much it. And since I'm always a very avid note taker, despite all the AI tools taking notes, I still like to take my own notes as well. I also make the joke about, hey, by the way, if I seem distracted, I'm just taking notes. And that's just my communication style these days, is to kind of just always address the elephant in the room and point out any potential awkwardness so that there is no room for awkwardness. I just speak my truth, and if I do something silly, then I own it. And people can sense the confidence and the authenticity, you can say. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So that's kind of the call script is intro, agenda and goal, getting to know each other, analyze their current situation and where they want to get to. Then quick intro about myself and the company and the offer, super high level. Then summary, what are they trying to do? What are the problems? Where do they need help? And then I can say, yes, I see that we could help you with this and this. I have those 2 or 3 options in mind, just to make sure that you're on the same page. Rough pricing range goes from here to here. But we'll discuss all the details and the right offer for you in a follow-up call. Yeah, you up? Cool. Then let's book the follow-up call right now. Always book a follow-up call in the discovery call. Never, ever, ever let them get back to you. Unless you really, really trust them, and okay, but usually it's an excuse because you don't have the courage to really hone in on the follow-up call. And once again, there as well, if instead of it getting awkward and me pushing for a follow-up call, I just tell them, would really appreciate if you can book in a follow-up call because we have limited capacity. We take a cohort-based approach to how many slots are open in our fulfillment. That's true. That's how we do it internally. We can share more about that later. But, also just old sales best practice. If there's no follow-up call, there's no predictability for both of us. So yeah, let's just do it. So I, in the sales call, sometimes even point out good old sales tactics, but yeah, we should really book a follow-up call. Yeah, and it works. Yeah, if they then really insist on not doing it, then that's usually a red flag. But then yeah, just it is how it is. Yeah, and that's how I structure discovery calls. And this is also the feedback that I shared with Selim, to really focus on recapping more of what was discussed, give more room for asking questions, and not get into our specific offer too fast. Don't worry about the deliverables and the pricing too much in the discovery call. Focus on getting to know the person, be curious, then take it from there and make it a fun, valuable experience for the guest, even if they don't end up being the right fit for the agency service. Yeah, and that's that. You try to just have 2 minutes with Vicky one-on-one, but it's impossible.
He's our running coach, actually. So what he's doing is he's combining Web3 and longevity, and he's part of the Web3 community and the W3 Hub community. And he's also our fitness coach. So he's doing our community runs with Henrik.
But what is the W3?
So you're here in the W3 Hub, the home of Berlin's Web3 community. It's a co-working and community space. Currently in the community space, we host several events in here, but in general, everyone who is in Web3 knows about this space, and everyone is welcome to work from here. Yeah, have you seen actually the space like it is right now?
Henrik gave us a tour.
So Henrik already gave you the tour, yeah. It's actually nice because everything was quite empty when we moved in, so everything... Beginning of 2023.
1.5 years?
1.5 years, and now we finally have an expensive coffee machine. The fight is almost over.
I'm the type of guy who carries a glass to the 4th floor just to be able to drink my coffee out of the glass. Mine sounds silly to some, but if you know, you know. I mean, look at this. You're gonna have a coffee from this ceramic cup? Okay, what are we doing today?
I actually don't know.
Just catching up. Okay. Gotta give quick context for the video, and we're not gonna record the whole convo, obviously. We just want to catch up as well. But Vicky, aside from being Dach's and soon Europe's most wanted Web3 influencer, she also was one of my first clients that I worked with. And it was, I think...
I owe him my career.
Can I clip this? Hey, media team, run up the ads. Run up the ads with this clip. But it's so funny because we first got dinner at Kapwin, the pizzeria in Berlin.
Yeah.
And you and Henrik were like, yo, we're doing this NFT thing. Can we talk about some LinkedIn content stuff?
Yeah.
And you didn't have any of the investors, any of these things. You were planning a first NFT launch, right?
Nothing. There was nothing to do with w3.fund as it is right now. It was just us doing random projects. And we knew immediately that we need to create a personal brand around that.
So you took the founder-led approach to marketing and building the business. And then a couple of months later, we were like, okay, you guys just found some investors who want to do some Web3 things with you. Yeah. And we want to make Vicky a star. And so she was one of my first 3 clients when I relaunched the agency. Yeah. And you blew up, right?
I mean, yeah, I guess. I mean, LinkedIn top voice in 1 year.
1 year, conferences, W3 Hub.
No, I'm just
it's crazy how your life changed, no? And of course, I'm not taking all the claim for it. That is mostly you.
No. I think it's underestimating, or you underestimate in the beginning how important it is to have a presence somehow. So for me, it was random because I never took LinkedIn that seriously until that point where it all of a sudden made sense for us. Yeah. So now I'm laughing about it, but I started with basically like 500 connections. Yeah. And then while working with you, I understood how valuable it is to kind of be in touch with your network all the time.
And I mean, you're now, as I said, she's the MVP in the industry, at least in the German-speaking part, but you switched to English as well, your language. Yeah. But I mean, we're not here to record a testimonial interview, although I appreciate the kind words. But more so, I want to encourage Vicky to also get into more video content because she's a living, breathing content machine. Super charismatic. I don't think I have to point that out to y'all, but I think you will crush it on YouTube. And I think it would be a shame not to document the cool things you are doing here.
I need to know what type of camera that is.
Yeah. So the next point of our agenda will now be to sit onto the balcony, sip some coffee, and I'll walk you through the workflow that I have right now that is just super lean and just catch up in general, I guess. We got some collabs probably coming up. I have a meeting with the other Marvin on Thursday.
Ah, nice. Yeah.
So W3, ex Notus, cooking. But this is where it all started, I think, for both of us. Yeah. I relaunched my agency the same month you fucking started this thing. True. 2.5 years, 3 years. I'm gonna find the original deep dive interview. I have it all, where I recorded you about your life story.
I know.
It's the first thing I do with new clients, and we do now with the agency is always just to interview them for 2 hours and just let them tell us about their story. And Vicky came from nothing. That's also another thing. Immigrant parents, and just came to Berlin. Fucking, you studied biology for a while.
Yeah.
And now you're just killing it. Congrats. You can be proud of yourself. Thank you. And now imagine her actually taking you with her as she continues building this shit up for the next couple of years. Maybe. No pressure.
The pressure is on.
But it makes sense for you and the business. Anyway, I have nothing to sell you. It's 2:29 and my meeting marathon officially starts. Got one follow-up sales call / closing call. Can talk about how I prepared that afterwards. Then a discovery call, and then 3 potential partnership calls / also just catching up with friends that are working on some stuff that we might collab on in the future. But time to hop into the meeting. Let's get her freaking going. Of course, open the mandatory Apple Notes, as well as opening up the proposal I had shared with them prior to the call. That will be the main thing we will walk through today to get closer towards a decision. So, partnership proposal, here we are. It's always good to prime yourself for a good call, to just have fun with it. Deep breaths in through the nose and out. Exhale for a long time. It's gonna be awkward if they jump in while I give breathing instructions. But smiling as much as possible and just putting yourself into a fun, abundant mindset. I just want to help them, speak my truth, and if there's a fit, there's a fit. Ciao Jörg und Michele. Yes. Wie geht's euch? Long time no see. Vielleicht hat er sich auf das Geschäftsmodell bezogen. Ich glaube, gewisse Leute identifizieren Startups als VC-backed Ideen, die dann hoffentlich in Zukunft einen Return generieren. Ist bei uns aber auch nicht der Fall. Dann sind wir auch eher bootstrapped Consulting Agency. Hast du das Proposal angeschaut gestern? Oder heute? Ich fange aufs Projekt. Cool, macht's gut. Bis dann, ciao, ciao. Verbal confirmation. Why verbal? Because I also sent them the quote separately and they gonna sign it till Monday. We have a closing call booked, so whenever there is no finalization live, I make sure that there's a follow-up call to actually confirm. And I mean, they confirmed the budget. We talked 3 times now. It was the 3rd call, the 3rd session. They're hyped. We already talked about 2025 budget. And so what we're doing here, without giving away too much about who this is, and I don't want to spoil the project, I don't know when this will go out, but we're going to do a 4-month pilot / that's our new arrangement, is that we start with 4-month minimum done for you takeovers. And then after 4 months, there's different paths in the client journey that they can take. And so we already teased and mapped out what would happen after 4 months, and that budget needs to be discussed. You know, it's a big company, so they're gonna have internal meetings, and by November they will know what their 2025 budget is. Budget for 2024 for the 4 months from September till December is confirmed. Once this vlog goes live, I will have 100% clarity of whether or not we close the deal, so you'll know. This is the editor's note. Okay, my friends, big moment. Look what she ordered. She ordered the Osmo Pocket 3.
It's a DJI Osmo Pocket 3 Creative Combo Bleu.
Papa Henrik approved. He freed up some budget. Okay, now it's official. We're gonna see on YouTube soon, no?
But not like this.
Heard it here first. Friends, back from promotion call. It went great. We are fully aligned. New contract will come into effect beginning of September.